If you're serious about gardening and your soil has been more Dust Bowl than fertile paradise, you're going to want to stick with me here. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let me know what your soil struggles are. Sharing your experiences not only helps me tailor future videos, but it also builds a community of gardeners who are ready to transform their soil into something thriving. Today, I'm going to show you the 3-layer mulch system that completely revived my dead soil, and I promise by the end you'll have a clear roadmap for bringing life back to even the most tired garden beds. When I first encountered soil that was compacted, lifeless, and incapable of holding moisture, I tried everything: chemical fertilizers, compost teas, even expensive miracle soils. Nothing seemed to stick. That's when I discovered a simple, layered approach to mulching that mimics how nature works. Think of it as giving your soil a structured diet, the right balance of nutrients, carbon, and moisture at the right levels. I call it the 3-layer mulch system, and here's how it works. The first layer is all about protecting and feeding the soil immediately. This is the foundation of your system, the layer that actually touches the soil surface. I like to start with a thin layer of organic matter that breaks down quickly. Materials like shredded leaves, grass clippings, or finely chopped kitchen scraps work beautifully here. The key is to keep it no more than 1 to 2 inches thick, so it doesn't smother the soil or create a barrier that water can't penetrate. For example, if you have a 10-foot by 10-foot bed, you might spread roughly 3 to 5 gallons of shredded leaves across the surface. This layer immediately starts feeding the microbes in your soil. These tiny organisms are the unsung heroes of a healthy garden. They break down organic matter into nutrients your plants can actually absorb. Once your soil is covered with a nutrient-rich first layer, the second layer acts as both a protective blanket and a moisture regulator. I've found that materials like straw, wood chips, or shredded bark work best here. This layer should be thicker, about 3 to 4 inches. In practice, if you're mulching a small raised bed, I usually use enough straw to create a soft, spongy layer that you can easily walk on without compacting the soil below. The beauty of this layer is that it keeps the soil from drying out, reduces the temperature swings that stress plant roots, and stops weeds from getting a foothold. Over time, as this layer breaks down, it feeds the soil even further, building structure and organic content. The third layer is a top dressing that seals in everything below. The final layer is what gives your garden that finished, lush look, while providing additional benefits. I typically use coarser material here, like whole leaves, pine needles, or even lightly aged compost. Spread this layer about 1 to 2 inches thick. The purpose is subtle but powerful. It prevents erosion from wind and rain, keeps the inner layers from compacting too quickly, and adds another slow-release source of nutrients. For instance, in my garden, I throw a generous handful of pine needles on top of my straw layer every couple of months during the growing season. Not only does it look natural, but it continues to feed the soil over time without disturbing the layers beneath. Start by removing any large debris or weeds from your garden bed. Once it's clean, lay down your first layer evenly across the soil. Don't worry about making it perfect. Nature will take care of blending it in. Next, apply your bulk mulch layer, ensuring you keep the thickness consistent. If you notice that your garden bed tends to be soggy, pull back a little on the thickness or choose a material that drains better. Finally, finish with your top dressing layer. A simple way to maintain this system is to top off with new material as the old layers break down, typically every 2 to 3 months, depending on rainfall and plant growth. A practical ratio I use in my garden is roughly 1 part fast decomposing matter for the first layer, 3 parts bulk mulch for the second, and 1 part slow decomposing top layer. This balance mimics natural forest floors and gives my soil an incredible boost in both fertility and structure. Over the course of a single growing season, I noticed plants were healthier, yields improved, and I was watering far less because the soil retained moisture so much better. Beginners often get overwhelmed by compost piles, fertilizers, and soil amendments. The three-layer system is straightforward, and it's hard to get wrong. You don't need fancy inputs, just organic material and a willingness to layer carefully. Experienced gardeners will appreciate the subtle improvements in soil structure, microbial activity, and plant resilience. This method turns dead, lifeless soil into a living system that continues to improve year after year without constant intervention. By embracing this layered approach, you are not just fixing soil problems temporarily, you are creating a self-sustaining ecosystem that works with nature, not against it. The results speak for themselves: richer soil, stronger plants, and a garden that practically takes care of itself. If you're ready to try this in your garden, gather your organic materials, layer them thoughtfully, and watch your soil come back to life. Don't forget to subscribe to Evergreen Garden, comment below with your soil stories, and share this video with friends who are struggling to grow in tough soil. Transforming your garden is easier than you think, and the three-layer mulch system is your secret weapon for healthy, thriving plants.